Hey, howdy, y'all. MrTaupeTO here. I know it's been a while since I've been around, but back at it again. Life has a funny way of getting in the way. Uh, this is Emily, in case you guys haven't seen her yet, our newest addition to the family. Uh, she's about a month old here, and the cutest little thing that I've ever seen, really, just running around. Um, But let's go ahead and get back to this. This is going to be basically what's been going on since the last time I saw you. Since the last time I watched all of Hawkeye, uh, kind of like that show. It was interesting. It gave me more reasons to care about Hawkeye than I've ever really given any thought to previously. All of his adventures through Endgame and pretty much everything we've seen. It actually humanized him a lot more. It gave me a bit of a story. I like the fact that Kate Bishop came in, that Yelena is now Black Widow, and Echo was cool. It was cool to see Kingpin make it to the MCU itself, an actual Disney slash Marvel owned property. That was pretty cool. And it was a good little Christmas story. It was good. It wasn't stuff to write home about, but there we go. I wasn't disappointed with it. It was just interesting for what it was, and I love the fact that they kept it pretty much street level. It wasn't, oh no, Hawkeye has to save the world on his own, because therein lies your power creep. If he can do it by himself, why does he need these other people in the Avengers? But that was cool to see. Um, Also, after watching that, I got to finish up season 6 of The Expanse. Oh, but I love that show. And if you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Watch every episode of it. Uh, Season 6 was, you can't really call it fan service, but it definitely gave it gave me everything that I like as a fan. It gave me Amos being Amos, Bobby just bobbying the living bejeebus out of everything out there. Avasarala, and oh my goodness, I should have done outfit of the week with that lady. I would have had multiple candidates per episode. Love her, love the actress, love that voice, love the dialogue they gave her. Christian is that lady, and I wish I wish there were more characters like her. Um, man, Holden and Naomi, that whole storyline with there you've got the okay, now you're really messing with the fate of mankind, but it makes sense because it's just human beings being bad human beings to one another, which as a fan of history, yes, that happens quite a bit, quite a lot, and can't be mad at it. I like the story just ending as it did. I didn't need the, what's happening 15 years later, what's the consequences of all of this, because for them it's just, okay, what's the next crisis? We made it through this one. What's the next one? And humanity itself is asking that same question, just like our crew of the Rocinante. Wasn't wasn't disappointed even in the slightest bit. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I know that the books continue on, because yes, they didn't answer every question, and that's fine. That's how you allow stuff to to just grow and create its let the fandom, or even just anybody else who wants to come along and pick up where this world was built and say, okay, here's another story that you may not have known. It gives that space room to grow. And and honestly, they could literally tell any story they want to in any timeline. They've got thousands of worlds to go ahead and tell any kind of story they want, and I'm here for all of it. Really, really, again, I just recommend The Expanse to anybody who's into just good shows. You don't have to be a sci-fi fan, because it's not really sci-fi. It's that hard sci-fi that they actually explain some of the science behind it. They they honestly give it as best they can to say this is what could be in our future if we just go out into the stars. Um, love that. If there's anything else coming from the Expanse, I'll definitely be on top of that because I am a fan of that world that they've built. I'm a fan of the characters, but more importantly, the ground has been laid. So let's go ahead and get it. Uh, man, just tell any story you want, and I'll be there. It doesn't matter the ship, doesn't matter the crew. Just make sure that the Martians are somewhere in there, and I'll be exceedingly happy. Um, After the Expanse, and that was all gone. Of course, I started watching a new show on Fridays, and that is The Legend of Vox Machina. And okay, this show is really good. Full stop. It's even better if you've played any kind of D&D, exclamation point. And I imagine it's even better if you've been watching Critical Role and their gaming sessions. I've personally not done that last one. I know they're up to like season 3. It's just I can't really sit down and watch videos like that. There's too much other stuff going on, work, kids, all the rest of that. If I imagine if they have a podcast, the audio version would be great, but I'm pretty sure the video needs to be involved as well. I'll try my best to catch up on it when I get a chance. But that aside, this show is amazing. As a kid of the 80s, watching the D&D cartoon back in the day on Saturday mornings, it's as if they just said, okay, well, that audience has grown up. Let's give them, some real things, but still bring it back to D&D. And that's what this show does. And it does amazingly well. You've got the whole band, you've got the rogue with the backstory, you've got the ranger with the pet, you've got the nature-loving druid over there, the cleric, who's just a vessel of faith. More on that later. You've got the raging barbarian out there, and the Percy the artificer. He's filling a role that is, of course, needs to be there, but the only slag I have on this show is there's way too much charisma-based casting going on. I mean, Scanlan the Bard's over there spitting fireballs, literally. The druid spitting fireballs just with raw sunlight. Percy's just literally shooting fire out the end of his gun. Where's my caster? Where's my wizard? No. None of the sorcerer stuff. Where's my wizard? That's all I want because Int is not a dump stat. All right, let's give some love to Int. We got charisma. We got 2 dex characters. We've got a wisdom-based character. Can we please get a wizard in there? Because yes, the shopkeep is a wizard, but let's go. Okay, no more potions. No more. I want spell slots. I want cantrips. I want it all, and I need that to be in a magic user. No multi-classes. None of that madness. He can specialize or she can specialize if they want, but I need a wizard. Can you make that happen? And again, I know it's based off of Critical Role, and that may not be their party composition, but I'm just saying. To make it even more special for me, just add a wizard to the list. But outside of that, the Legend is awesome. I love the way they present it, about 3 episodes a week. That's about an hour and a half. I can dedicate that, and I am at the end begging for another episode as soon as the first one's over. I love the fact that it's all there, and this show is incredible. It is not exactly kid friendly, but it is awesome. Again, it's even better if you've played any kind of D&D because they have nailed that. The sitting around in a group, everybody out of character, in character, talking about their backstory, flashbacks, and it is amazing. The storylines are good. The villains are great. And just the party, the party. Oh, stop biting. The party itself is just great because everybody gets along or doesn't get along just at the right amount of flavor that you want. There's enough spice for everybody going on. There's budding relationships. There's definitely, just camaraderie all around. Everybody is awesome in the show. There's not a character on here that's getting carried. So I love each and every last bit of it. I'm definitely glad that it came along and filled that hole on Fridays after The Expanse. That's actually how I found the show. I tuned in the Friday the week after The Expanse ended and realized, oh yeah, that show just came to an end. What's the new show? And there it was on the banner, and I said, okay, I'll try that one. Let's see what's going on with that. And I was pleasantly surprised and definitely not disappointed whatsoever. Highly recommend it to anybody who just wants to have something fun to watch, and especially if you've played any kind of Dungeons and Dragons. I don't care which edition. It's the same. It's like sitting around with a group of your friends, rolling dice, huffing down Mountain Dew and chips. Man, it is. They caught that vibe, and they caught that vibe in a bottle, and I love every bit of it. I'm sorry. This girl is biting my fingers, something fierce. So if I have to pause or you see an edit, that's why. She is going ham on my fingers right now. But yes, The Legend of Vox Machina is quite good and really, really have to recommend it. I'm not going to go deep into the storyline because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but yes, now that there's like 9 episodes that are out, go ahead, set aside a day and just watch it all. Man, it is so good. The next couple of things I want to cover are the things that are coming out. Just saw the Super Bowl spots for these next 2 properties and just wanted to talk about them. Coming up at the end of March is Moon Knight. I'm really intrigued by this show because honestly, I don't know very much about Moon Knight. I know he's a guy with multiple personalities. I know that his patron god is Khonshu, and that's about all I know about him, other than the fact that he was part of Marvel's Marvel Knights titles back in the day, back in the late 90s. But man, it is refreshing to actually be able to go into a Marvel show not knowing very much about the characters, not worried about, are they going to do him justice, or worse, worried about, are they going to do him dirty? I mean, let's face it, Marvel doesn't have a perfect track record. I saw all of Iron Fist and was not happy about it. But everything else, I've been a fan of. The Punisher, all the Netflix shows, Punisher, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, all of that. I've been here for, all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I even gave, the Inhumans a bit of run, but they canceled that show. Agent Carter, all of that. I've been here for all of it. I've enjoyed myself quite a bit. So it will be interesting to see how long this, how well they do with this character, especially seeing as I know nothing about it. So I'll be able to give it, fresh eyes. Really interested to see where they go. I know how the outfit looks, what it's supposed to be, everything running around. I want to see how they play with that. Because honestly, when Marvel focuses in on a thing like Punisher and the PTSD, or Wanda and loss and depression, anything that they've done outside, even the What If series, they were able to tell different stories quite well. So I really want to see what they do with this. And of course, Oscar Isaac, he's an awesome actor. So I just want to see what he's able to do with it and how he's able to switch back and forth. That'll be the interesting thing. Forget his secret identity or whatever, just the different personalities that he's got. The voices bumping around his head. But again, I know nothing about this show. I don't know who the villain is or is supposed to be, how well connected they are, how far they go back in the comics line. Nothing. And that not knowing is going to be great for me because I just want to see where they take me. Tell me the story. I'm gonna be here for it. And after Moon Knight apparently wraps up, because again, it starts in late March, probably going to run all the way through April, into the beginning of May, which brings us to Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I was a big fan of the first Doctor Strange movie. Yeah, say what you want about Inception, but that was able to tell us, like, here's how magic works in the Marvel universe. Deal with it because it's here. And of course, everything Doctor Strange has done in the MCU movies proves that this man has plenty of stories that ought to be told, because he is becoming pivotal to pretty much any and all properties going forward. He's obviously going to be working with Wanda. He's bringing in, or from what I saw in the trailer, America Chavez. I know nothing about that character either, so it'd be interesting to have her be introduced. If you look on the web, it says, oh, it's going to have Loki and some other things tied into it. And with the multiverse, you could do any and all of that. I just want to see Chiwetel Ejiofor come back and say, I told you the bill comes due. I told you. And it looks like they've got the, what if Doctor Strange in here, which is going to be cool. Even if it's different, that's fine. I'm here for it. There was nobody in the cast of the first movie that I was disappointed with. There's nobody that I'm hesitant to see again. I really want to see how they take Doctor Strange and just go with it. Now that they've introduced the multiverse in several different properties, it's time. If this is going to be phase 4, bring it, because I want to see all of it that I can. And yeah, I did notice that was Professor X talking about, we should tell him the truth. Yes, this should be the vehicle for mutants. Perhaps WandaVision season 2, but if they're not going to do that, this would be the perfect place to do that. Heck, even if they go into Loki season 2, bring me the mutants, bring them all, because what they did in WandaVision to Pietro was, now that's a guy that got done dirty, but I'm here for as much of that as I can get a hold of. Again, I know it's been a while since I've been with you guys, but that's about all I've got for this wrap up. I'll try and make sure that I get back on somewhat of a schedule of posting videos and getting things uploaded to YouTube. But in the meantime, if you made it this far, thank you for joining me. Please go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already a member. And we'll go ahead and get back on it. I'm going to be getting back on Twitch here, casting games and reactions. And again, you can just stop by our Patreon. It really just $1 to keep the lights on. That's really all we got. I know I've been slacking on building out content for the tiers, but we'll go ahead and deal with that as we go forward. Again, thank you all for joining me. MrTaupeTO out.